Yes. Da starter vi opp igjen. Vitenskapskomité, så da Hildur snakke litt om soft innovation game development. Ja, vær så god.
I'll do it in English because I prepared myself in English and I can't just magically make it into Norwegian again. So, hi everyone, I'm Hildur. I'm from Westerdals, also School of Arts, Communication and Technology from the Technology Department. And I'm a PhD student researching soft innovation in game development. And that's basically what I'm here to talk to you guys about. I'm trying to contextualize soft innovation and the Norwegian game industry. Firstly, I want to address why we innovate. Yay, technology! What happened? Let's see. Okay. This is strange. I hope Okay, so now hopefully we won't have any more technical problems. So why do we really innovate? Well, as our man Charles Darwin said, it's a survival of the fittest. He was of course talking about evolution, but that's very applicable to the competitiveness of the market and the organization's struggle to survive and adapt. So, in order to survive, you must innovate. And I might as boldly state that it's not really a choice, it's a requirement. So when it comes to the Norwegian video game industry, this is extremely important. It's a growing industry, and it's mostly comprised of small companies that are trying to find their place and trying to stand out to survive. And we're talking about survival in the long term, not just a few years. So, James Portnow did a study in the Norwegian game industry. And he noted that the Norwegian video game industry is more like a scene. And in order for us to reach the industry level and actually compete with the international market, we need to do something different. And we're Norway. We're different. So why not harness that? So in order to kind of swoosh past the Americans or the rest of the world, we need to take advantage of what we have. And the biggest advantage right now is that we're in the digital distribution age. So we're not competing on shelving space or this big marketing budget that several of the big leagues have. We're able to actually compete with innovations. So, what really is this innovation that I'm talking about? Well, I'm going to be a little bit factual now. The OECD presents innovation in 4 different areas. The first is product innovation. It's a good or service that is new or significantly improved. It's process innovation, a new or significantly improved production or delivery method. It's also marketing, which is a new marketing method involving significant changes in product design, packaging, placement, promotion, or price. And it's also organizational innovation, which is a new organizational method in business practices, workplace organization, or external relations. So within these 4, we have 2 types of innovation. Hard innovation, which is technological innovation, and soft innovation, which is the non-technological innovation. This type of innovation often is combined. The technology supports the softness, and the softness influences the technology. But the soft innovation is often forgotten. It is often viewed as something that kind of just happens in an organization. It's not a part of innovation strategy. So I'll try to contextualize this soft innovation in order for you guys to maybe bring this into a perspective and maybe harness from that. So, first of all, I want to define soft innovation. And this is a definition from Paul Stoneman. So, soft innovation concerns aesthetic or intellectual appeal, often found in the creative industries, such as the video game industry. It's also functional aesthetics, as seen in marketing, which generates an emotional response from the consumer. Did that fit? Awesome. No response. So that's basically soft innovation. So we're talking about innovations that are really connected to the intellect and how we as consumers respond to the products. So in my research, I identified 4 quite larger categories that involve soft innovation. First is management, then we have market, then we have network, and design. Firstly, I'll talk a little bit about management. Soft innovation management is the introduction of new techniques or methods that have not been used before to change the way the company gains competitive advantage. In the video game industry, the development process is quite complex and also very evolutionary. It consists of multiple design iterations, you have testing, you have multifaceted teams, and we also have new features and content constantly added to the product throughout the development process. This evolutionary tendency can generate greater room for innovation, where users' needs are continuously met. This is important as the value of the video game is not apparent until the game is experienced. Understanding that experience as a strategically important dimension of innovation changes the perspective of where the engines of innovation lie, and the forms of knowledge essential to utilizing the experience resource. So during my research, I observed something interesting. I asked companies about how they approached innovation, and many companies didn't really have a clear purpose with innovation. They didn't have an innovation strategy. Many just said that it was inherent in their culture and just, well, we don't have a goal to innovate, but we do it anyway. So it's seen as a natural part of the creative environment and a result of the organic process and also the interaction between management and the rest of the team. So, the market. Soft innovation in marketing can be branding, it can be marketing that changes in product design or packaging. So it's a very functional type of innovation. It includes aesthetic or intellectual variants with no really functional improvements in the product itself. Through experiential marketing, companies can try to understand the customer experience during the consumption of their product. So this can be done by exposing it in conferences, events, or through play testing. The emotional satisfaction and enjoyment from playing a video game is an essential part of its viability and value. And I want to give an example from Microsoft. They use data to precisely target their customers with content and offers that they really cared about. And they based that from their usage history. They were able to create very relevant, direct marketing communications that struck an emotional chord with, for instance, the loyal Halo base. So they created an emotional response with their customers. Use data that you have available from your customers. Know what they like, know what they dislike, know what really makes them feel something. Nothing makes a consumer feel better than when a company that they love, cherish, and trust listens to them and responds. So soft innovation in network is gained through experience and networking that leads to new ways of doing things which influence the innovative activities in an organization. So, working together is the key to success. The game industry involves actors at all stages, and innovation is shaped and co-produced through interactions between the teams in the organization, between other companies, and also by including the customers. So involving customers early in the development process can help to increase the product's viability in the market. Otherwise, you might not really know the value of the product because it's exactly an experienced product. Customer cooperation has been utilized in business models, such as online stores, microtransactions, and also crowdfunding. Networking is also shown to enhance innovation and competitiveness, presenting arenas for knowledge transfer, creating trust, sharing risk, gaining access to new technology, and also being a facilitator for sharing tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is so important because you're not able to read that in a book. You have to interact with other people in order to gain tacit knowledge. And as someone I interviewed said so eloquently, an idea is not worth anything unless it is used by others. So, design, content, soft innovation in this. It's about the experience. Soft innovation in design is associated with shaping this experience of the players through new creative content or aesthetic design, providing more pleasant, sophisticated, or simpler interactions. This can involve the creation of completely new genres of content, which can lead to new markets, or to redesign familiar content with a new context. This could be, basing your game on characters or an environment from other media, such as books or movies. But this requires extensive, innovative content. So you have to really look at, building an entire new world, implementing new tasks, creating this interaction by controlling characters and similar things. Content indirectly supports gameplay by building a sense of immersion and story progression. So when players control content such as characters or get feedback by seeing the on-screen consequence of their actions. This is again supported by technology, as it is the driver behind every action you take. So the actual value, again, of the video game is what happens when players play the game. This is the crucial intangible information that forms the product of an experienced good. So, when it comes to soft innovation in the content of video games, we can see them as sort of 4 categories. We can look at visuals. Visuals are, for instance, graphics like, is it 2D, is it 3D, is it lifelike, is it pixelated? How do you kind of perceive the game through your eyes? It can be the choice of color, it can be lighting, it can be, are you choosing it to be dark or sinister? It really influences the mood and experience of the player. It can also be sound effects or music. This can really create a new dimension in the game. And as been mentioned earlier, it really is a place where we can work with, creating games that enhances the experience through music and sound. I'll show a few examples later. We also have story building or dramaturgy, which is basically about building suspense, building a story from beginning to end. And it can be told or shown in so many ways. We also have movement in which a player interacts with the environment, with other NPCs. It can be restraining, so you're only able to look left or right, or it can be freeing, you can move wherever. This really influences the experience and really guides the player. So I want to show a few examples from the Norwegian video game industry that really encompasses this soft innovation. The first one is Size Does Matter, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this game. It's a side-scrolling arcade rhythm game. And the combination of sound, music, the beat, with the movement is what is really soft innovation. So it gives you a very strong, innovative audio-visual feedback. The next one is Among the Sleep. This is innovative in the combination of perspective and movement. So what they've done is basically put the player in the mindset of a small toddler. And they've influenced this experience by creating, ways that a toddler moves. You can't reach things that a grown-up can. You can't run as fast. You might trip all the time because that's what a toddler does. So this really puts you in the mindset of a toddler and also influences how you perceive the game afterwards. The third one is Through the Woods. This is innovation in 3 different places. It's through how the story is told. It's innovative in the sense that once you start playing the game, you're being told the story through an interview by the main character. So you're constantly being fed information throughout. Yeah, that's good. Constantly being fed information. And the other one is a combination between sound and movement. So you're listening, like every single sound has a meaning. You're hearing trolls in the background, and every step you take makes certain sounds, so you have to be careful in what you do in order to not attract these trolls. And you can also hear whether an enemy is close or far away, and how you respond to that. And the final one is Trolls vs. Vikings. This is a re-innovative game. So they've taken, and you can pitch in if you feel like, but it's a re-innovation of the popular game Plants vs. Zombies. And the innovative thing is the concept that they've created. the trolls and the gods against the Vikings. They've really taken this Norwegian essence and creating or re-innovating this popular game. And also innovating in the marketing perspective. So they've taken this concept and really pushed it into the marketing, and they're doing extremely well because of this. So they're promoted themselves in the UK and Saudi Arabia and are working on the second one. And I had to show this image because this is Hildur the Troll. So I felt kind of a personal bond with this extremely versatile troll, which is good to have on the playing field.
She was Miss Troll in 2009.
So yeah, she had to be included. So yeah, that's my presentation. I'll leave you with this final one. Innovation, just because something is innovative, doesn't mean it's a good idea. So you can bring that into your thoughts. Thank you.